Hello, you guys. Welcome back, Lighthouse Ministries. I hope you guys are having an amazing day and an amazing weekend. We're jumping straight into another story of mine. And today we're talking about be careful of what you lay your head on or where you lay your head at. There are maybe 2 to 3 occasions in my lifetime when I have experienced demonic activity based on what I was laying on or where I was laying my head at. Over the years of walking with God, me and my family we're basically living in and out of hotel and Airbnbs until God tell us when to go to the next place. It's me and my husband and our 5 children. And in these places, we have experienced demonic activity based on the things we were laying on. And our very first experiences, we was living in this hotel, and our daughter received this blanket from someone. And we had no clue what this blanket was, how did it work, in a way of we had no clue it was demonic. So she was sleeping with it, a cute little gray and white blanket, and she would sleep with it on every night. But every night around maybe 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning, she would throw up all her food that she ate before she went to bed. At first, we thought she was getting sick. Maybe it was a virus. And it happened constantly every night. She'll throw up all her food at the same time. So if she covered herself with that blanket for a week, she'll throw up every day between 2 to 3 o'clock a.m. in the morning. So at some point, we just took the blanket away and we just gave her another one. So we let the blanket sit, whatever. And eventually we're like, okay, she can get it back now. Maybe it was just her being sick. But not realizing that it began to happen again around the same time again. Around that midnight between 2 to 3 a.m., there she go gagging up all her food that she ate previously. She couldn't hold anything. She'll go the whole day eating, chilling, drinking, but the food she ate that night, she's gonna end up throwing up the food she ate that night, she's gonna end up throwing it up in the middle of the night. Sorry, I forgot to mention this part. Is when she had the other blanket, like when we took the first blanket that was causing her to throw up and we gave her another one, she didn't throw up not once. She didn't throw up, she didn't gag, nothing. She was sleeping peacefully with this blanket that we gave her the second time. So we ended up giving her back the blanket that was causing her to throw up because she really liked it, that blanket. And we gave it to her, but she ended up throwing up again over and over while sleeping with that blanket every night. But then God began to show me and my husband that blanket is an altar. That blanket have some type of demon attached to it. That blanket have been sacrificed or something happened with that blanket. And that is why she's throwing up every night at the same time. Because what was in that blanket was the spirit of infirmity. I cannot pronounce that word. But it was a demonic spirit that was causing her to gag up all her food and making her sick based off that blanket. So what we did was end up just taking that blanket and leaving that blanket. And when we left it, she never received it. She never threw up again once we just threw the blanket away. So the next time it happened was when we was living in this Airbnb. And in this time, it wasn't the sheets, it was the whole house that had a demonic altar witchcraft going on in the home. We moved to the Airbnb, we chilling, things are kind of smooth. But then that night started to come. Started to be bedtime. And we began to lay our children down, get them ready for bed. We began to get ready for bed. So we're laying in the bed, and now our son is going crazy. We do have an autistic son. So it's times where he'll be going crying on his own. But when you have an autistic child and you know your kid, you know a cry that is normal and then the one that's just not normal that he don't normally do. And he was doing the one that was not normal. So it was like, and he was able to sleep in his own room, in his own bed before. So it was something like crazy. So we thought it was just them acting a fool. So we just took all the kids out and they ended up sleeping in the bedroom with us because in this Airbnb, it was a 2-bedroom. But that night he was just screaming and yelling and just going crazy. Like, to the point where it was uncontrollable for us to manage. So we took him out of that room, we took our daughter out of our room, and they just ended up sleeping in the room with us, unfortunately. And I feel like it was a warning, or he was having night terrors because of the demonic things that was in that house, or it was probably God giving us a warning that something is wrong with this home. So we go to bed that night. My husband ended up having this dream. And it's like Indians in the circle over over a fire, paint on the face, just some demonic ritual. I don't particularly know if it was Indians or what it was, but what was in that house that we learned was the spirit of Kundalini. And that was the house that had that spirit living in there, because the people, the hosts that was hosting that house, they was worshiping that spirit in that house. They had some type of altar. We didn't know specifically what it was, but it was some type of altar in that home that God was like, y'all gotta go. So we had to go, and we ended up going back to another hotel. And this is the most recent one we had. The stories I just told you was maybe 2 to 3 years ago. But the one that I'm going to tell you right now is the one that recently happened probably about a week ago. We live in a hotel now. And in a hotel, you have to switch your sheets. You have to give them your dirty ones and get your clean ones. I'm pretty sure everybody know that. So we end up receiving a new set. And we put this new set on our bed. And we don't think much of it. We go to bed that night. We all resting. But in the middle of the night is when we start having night terrors. I was not having bad dreams, but I could just feel this dark, cloudy spirit over our room. And it was giving me like paranoia and fear. It just seemed like somebody was watching me throughout the night. And then my husband started having nightmares. He was like back to back, he was having nightmares. So eventually he woke up and was like, we gotta take the sheet off this bed. Not realizing that some type of witchcraft, altar, demonic person was doing some type of witchcraft on that sheet. Because I'm gonna show you a picture right here of the hose that was in the sheet. It was a specific area of the sheet where it was hose poked in it, like it was doing some type of ritual on that sheet. And the spirit I feel like that came with that sheet was night terror. It was like some type of thing that wanted to cause fear and anxiety and paranoia. And that's what it was causing that night. And then sometimes we'd get these sheets for our children to get them a new sheet. And sometimes it will be like they will have night terrors, waking up in the middle of the night crying uncontrollably, or just groaning, just doing weird things like they're being bothered in their sleep of fear and paranoia. And I realized it was the sheets that they were sleeping on that we were sleeping on also. And at that point, we're like, okay, God, we're gonna have to get new sheets. We prayed to God and like, God, provide the finances for us to get the new sheets for us and our children. And He did. And that was the last time we truly slept on them type of sheets. And sometimes God uses our scents. Me and my husband, God uses special gifts for everybody. And one of those gifts He has given me and my husband is a scent. And when we smell that scent, it's a scent of a warning or some type of demonic spirit is entered into your atmosphere. And there was times where we smell that smell. So I'd be smelling the sheets, the blankets, the covers to make sure that smell is not there, because that's the smell of God giving us a warning that something is wrong with this thing. So this video is more of a warning, a testimony, and advice. If you are the person that travels with God, He's moving you from place to place. You're sleeping maybe on somebody's couch, somebody's bed, especially if you're going to Airbnbs or into hotels. Be careful of what you lay your head at and what house you're entering, because you don't know what these people are doing behind closed doors. When you're living in a hotel, you don't know what these people are doing on other sheets, because let's be honest, you're getting sheets replaced by other people. That is why God gave us finances to provide us a new set of sheets so we can have our own that's brand new and not constantly used, because we don't know what these people are doing in those other rooms that's been occupied. And that's the reason why they was coming with demonic spirits, because it was coming from other people that was doing demonic activity in those other places. So I'm just saying today is be careful when you walk into those places. Pray. Let God lead you to the hotel. Let God provide you a new bed, a new sheet, new clothes, because demons can jump on anything. A lot of people might not believe it, but trust and believe. Them altars can be in hair, clothes, sheets, furniture, beds, whatever a demon can cling onto. It could be the altar of that thing. So you be very careful when you're moving around and you doing certain things, because you don't know what these people be doing behind closed doors.